it's Rayah.
And today we are going to be showing you how to do some DIY Christmas gifts
That are easy and affordable.
Yes.
Alright, so all the items we have here are very easy to find and very affordable. They're either from a craft store or from Bulk Barn, or
Some of the things are things that you can find around the house and even from the dollar store. So the very first gift idea that we have for you is called cookies in a jar. If you know someone that loves to bake or is too lazy to measure out all the ingredients, this is the perfect ideal gift for you. Our recipe that we have is your basic chocolate chip cookie mix. The very first thing that you will need is some sort of a jar. Right here we have a cute little jar that is already pre-bowed. You can use a mason jar or whatever type that you would like. The first ingredient that you will need is 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 a teaspoon of baking soda, and 3/4 a teaspoon of salt. You also need 2/3 of a cup of tightly packed brown sugar, 1/2 a cup of white sugar, and 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips or whatever type of chocolate that you prefer. Now in a larger bowl, you want to take your flour, baking powder, baking soda, and your salt and combine it all together. And once you've done that, add it to the bottom of your jar, and that's going to be the first layer. Clearly, sometimes you miss the jar, but that's okay because we're all human. Then what you want to do in order to level off the flour and soda mixture is you want to tap the sides of the jar so it's all even. Now you want to gently add your brown sugar and press firmly so it creates a nice stiff layer. Then you want to sprinkle your white sugar on top of that brown sugar, and once that's done, add your chocolate chips. And as you can see, we did have a little bit of extra room, so we added some white chocolate chips. And you can, at this point, you can add your own flavors like oatmeal or craisins, whatever you please. And there is your first gift. It looks really cute, don't you agree? Obviously, you can't forget about the wet ingredients. So on the back you can make your homemade card, but here we have a pre-made one. It includes all of the other ingredients that the person that you will be gifting this for will need, such as butter, an egg, vanilla, and water.
Alright, so for our second gift idea, we are going to be making Christmas tree pretzels. So the first thing you're gonna need is parchment paper. You will also need pretzel sticks, green candy melts. You will also need some M&Ms. And lastly, you will need a microwavable bowl. Place down the amount of pretzels you're gonna wanna make. I have 3 here. And you're just gonna wanna take your candy melts, put them into the bowl, and melt them in the microwave at 30-second intervals, mixing them in between. I only had to put them in twice, so for 2 intervals of 30 seconds, and that was good enough. So here it is. You can see it all, the consistency is very runny. This is how you want it. Drizzle them across in a zigzag motion like I'm doing here. You just want to slowly build them up. It's a little tricky at first. I had to get the hang of it, but you're just going to slowly build it up into the form of a tree. Once you've done an even coat over each pretzel, go back over it and fill in some of the spots that look a little bit fragile, just so when it hardens, it won't chip off, so the whole thing will be very solid. And then what you're gonna wanna do is decorate with the M&Ms. I put one at the top of each for like the star, and then we also added some sprinkles just for an extra effect. You guys can add anything you want here while the chocolate is still runny. And there you can see the finished product of what they look like, and obviously right now they're very runny and not ready to put in packages. So we're gonna put them in the fridge. Now, once your Christmas tree pretzels have cooled, and actually we found out ours took about only half an hour to cool down, you can find little bags to put them in and individually wrap them so they'll look something like this. You can use ribbon to tie them off, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go. So this is a great gift to give your friends or family if you have a lot of people you need to get gifts for, or you can also just attach this to a present or even put it in a stocking stuffer.
Alright guys, so this next gift is tranquility in a mason jar. I'm just kidding, it's just a candle in a mason jar. So you're gonna first need a mason jar that's big enough to hold the size of candle that you will be using. You will need a bowl of little pebbles. You can get these from Michael's craft store or even the dollar store. You will need a candle, of course, of your choice, a doily or some sort of decoration to cover it at the top. To add a little decoration, you will need a key or whatever you would like. You can be creative here. We just think the keys look really cute to add to the side of the jar. For this here, you can use your preference of string. We have this ribbon bow tie little woven string, which looks really cute with the doily. And obviously, of course, you will need scissors. Alright, so what you're gonna do first is open your mason jar, and I put 2 handfuls of the pebbles just to cover the bottom of the jar. Because my candle does take up a lot of the space, I'm not going to use all of the pebbles. So once I place my candle inside, I'm gonna tuck some of the pebbles onto the side so it looks like the candle has sunken into the pebbles. Now I'm gonna close the mason jar and add the little doily on top. And I decided that the white key did look a little better, so I chose the white key over the brown key. And then I took a couple inches of the twine, just enough to wrap around the top. And then I tied a little bow in the front, and I put the key off-centered so you can see the candle in the front. And that is the finished result. So this is how it will look when you give the person their candle. Now, if you want to know what it will look like when they will be using the candle, all you have to do is untie your bow, take off the doily, and take off the thin cap of the mason jar, but leave the rim. Light your candle, and there you go. That's what it will look like when it's all lit up. Great gift for that friend or family member that you know loves candles, or just decorating their house with cutesy little things like this. I would recommend, personally, I would give something like this to Rayah because she loves candles.
And for our last super easy gift, we have a candy cane picture frame. What you're going to need is 3 candy canes, 2 or more seasonal ribbon colors. You will also need a glue gun and a glue stick, and here we have our really gross glue gun, don't mind that. You'll also need some scissors, and of course for a picture frame you will need some pictures, so either horizontal or vertical photos will work perfectly for this. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is get 2 of the candy canes and glue them together at the base. And you want them almost at a 90-degree angle apart from each other, because this is going to be the front where your photo is going to be sitting. And then you're going to want to take the 3rd candy cane and put it on the back, but in the center, because it's going to act as the stand. So here, if you could see what I mean, you want to have it in the back, in the middle, if that makes sense. And because we're using hot glue, you want to be very careful when pushing these together. It's going to be very hot, but you're going to want to hold the candy canes until it's cool enough for you to let go. And I forgot to mention, please, please, please leave the wrappers on the candy canes or else it's just gonna be a mess and your photos are gonna get sticky and nobody wants that. So keep the wrappers on, please and thank you. Now with your 2 colored strings or 3 colored strings, whatever you're using, cut about a few inches, enough to make a nice bow, and you're just gonna wanna tie this onto the top just to kind of hide the barcode if there is a barcode on your candy cane, and just add an extra little decoration. And so here we have a vertical photo, and you can see we put the bow on the back of this one because you wouldn't see it on the front. But for the horizontal one, you can push the bow around to the front so you can see it, and here are the 2 ways that you can do it. So there's our quick and easy photo frame, and it's a nice gift or just something you can put together really quickly to decorate your house around Christmas time.
Okay guys, so that concludes our video.
And we hope you enjoyed this and maybe got some inspiration for some gifts for maybe people that are hard to buy for. You can make something, and I think everyone usually likes thoughtful homemade gifts. It's very nice and sentimental and nice for this time of year.
If you guys want to recreate anything that we made here today, do it and take a picture and tag us on Instagram or Twitter, and we are going to like the pictures. We love seeing you guys do these things.
Yeah, and we want to see how you guys personalize what we did, because you can add stuff, you can do your own personal touches, so we want to see how you guys do them.
Show your creativity.
So go ahead and hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this Christmas DIY video, and also subscribe if you're not already.
And we will see you next week for another Christmas video.
Bye!